All right, Hoop fam, let's jump right into what's happening in the world of women's basketball. Top of the news tickers right now is everything that's going on with the LSU Tigers, the coach there, Coach Kim Mulkey. What's going on in this program? We got 5 stories that we're looking at right now. Number one, and everybody's been talking about this for a few days, nothing has really changed in this situation, is the release of one of the champions from the 2023 championship team. Kateri Poole is no longer with the LSU Tigers.
Where'd everybody go?
Nobody knows why. There's speculation about fighting, speculation about drugs. Nobody's released anything specifically. If you listen to the press conference with Kim Mulkey a few days ago, she could barely let the reporters get their questions out before she was saying, nope, she's no longer with us. It made it sound like she had died. Need to maybe fix that part of it. No longer with us. She's not with the team. No, she's not. Is she coming back on the team? No, she's not coming back on the team. Very curt, very specific, very direct, without telling us anything, responses by Kim Mulkey about what's happening with Kateri Poole. Now, if you were watching the Final Four last March in Dallas, Texas, I was there. Kateri Poole played a very big part, hit some huge shots for the Tigers to win their first ever NCAA title. Before I continue, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the like button, the share button. Be sure to comment at the end of it. Let me know what you think about the video. But it's a year later. It's almost a year later. And you got to pay the cost to be the boss. You got to actually put in the time to make sure that you get the playing time. And what's happening right now at LSU, nobody knows what's really going on, whether it was a matter of she wasn't getting enough playing time, if there was headbutting with Kim Mulkey, which that's not uncommon, and certainly not with players who have strong personalities, as Kateri Poole does, going head-to-head with her coach, Kim Mulkey. But either way, we know this is a very talented young lady, and I believe she will land on her feet. There are programs out there that could use a Kateri Poole, so if you're listening to women's basketball TV right now, holla at your girl, make sure she gets picked up, make sure there is an opportunity for her to get a fresh start somewhere, so we wish Kateri Poole the absolute best. So that's what folks have been talking about with LSU, the LSU Tigers. Let's move on to injuries. Hailey Van Lith, the transfer from Louisville, everybody knows, dynamic guard, had a tremendous season. Everybody was literally surprised that she left Louisville last year. I was one of those people. I saw her play against Texas. They whipped up on Texas last year, and Van Lith was a huge part of that. So when she announced she was hopping in the transfer portal, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. She starter on her way to big time awards at Louisville, all these great things. She's leaving the Cardinals, and she did, and got to LSU, and I'll do a whole other video on Hailey Van Lith. I think Hailey Van Lith has gotten a little lost in the sauce at LSU. Not nearly as dynamic and electric as I've seen her play, whether it's on USA national teams or with Louisville. And now to add insult to literal injury, she's got plantar fasciitis, which is, if you know anything about any kind of fasciitis, any kind of plantar burst or whatever it is a nagging, continual, very chronic, very difficult to get through those situations. We wish her the absolute best. And what you need with this is, I had a couple of teammates who had plantar fasciitis. You need rest. You got to rest. That's the crazy thing about it. You never know what's going to flare up. I'm no doctor. I'm no trainer. But I've seen enough good friends go through this to know that rest is always the thing that trainers and medical professionals prescribe when somebody has any kind of plantar fasciitis, right? Excuse me. So that's what Hailey Van Lith is dealing with. And the interesting thing is she's been more of a facilitator in this LSU Tiger regime, whereas at Louisville, this is a straight up baller, straight up shooter, looking for opportunities. And now she's doing a lot more facilitation. And that's really kind of taken Hailey Van Lith out of her scoring mentality. I want to see this young lady hop back into the point where you don't know whether she's going to drop a dime or whether she's going to shoot a three-pointer and dot your eye. That's the Hailey Van Lith that I remember seeing last season. That's who I want to see show up for the Tigers in the purple uniform this season. So we'll see what happens. Again, the remedy is always, a prescription for what Hailey has is always, you got to rest it and just see what happens. It's a very unpredictable condition. So let's talk about what's good at LSU. As we know, Aneesah Morrow continues to burn up the net. She continues to play extremely well for the LSU Tigers. The transfer from DePaul has made a smooth transition into this new system, hasn't gotten really bogged down in all of the theatrics and the dramatics over in Baton Rouge.
I try to be as consistent as I possibly can every day, and my goal is to get a double double every night. I'm a double double machine, and I've been that since my freshman year. So just staying as consistent as I possibly can.
And let's all remember that this is a player who came to LSU to win a national championship. So I don't see her getting distracted by anything. If she continues to play the way she has been playing in preseason and pre-conference play, we're looking at somebody who's probably going to be an all SEC selection without a doubt. She's playing that well. And again, this is also an athlete who is very difficult to guard because she can take you down low. She can play with her back to the basket. She can face up. She can shoot the mid-range. Doesn't mind pulling the three, but is a great facilitator and can make those plays because people never know if she's going to score or if she's going to dump it off. So they got to respect her game. So Aneesah Morrow, shout out to you, continuing to play well for the LSU Tigers. And then finally, the name that's always on everybody's tongue is Angel Reese. Angel Reese, as she came back from her hiatus, from her self-imposed, what we've heard, hiatus, where she took some time off for her mentals to make sure that she was doing well, has been steady, has been absolutely steady. Hasn't been astonishing, but she has been steady and has played. What people fail to see about Angel Reese is that she does a lot of the dirty work. Right? She does a lot of the hard hat work. She's not afraid to go to the boards. She cleans up the boards in some of the most difficult situations on the fast break. When people are standing around her under the basket, Angel Reese is always in the mix, even when there are bigger players who should be getting the rebounds, should have the position. She finds a way to get her hands on the boards. And so Angel has been steady. Yes, she's going to score points. She's easy for Angel to get 10 to 12 points a night. But I'm watching the work she does consistently on the boards on both ends of the floor for LSU, and that has been the difference maker since Angel Reese got back. And finally, let's take a look at the top 25 women's basketball through games December 10th. No surprise, South Carolina stayed at the top. UCLA, NC State, Iowa, and Texas, all there from last week. Southern Cal, number 6. LSU, number 7. The big surprise, actually, I shouldn't say it's even a big surprise. Utah played South Carolina fairly closely. Great game by Poole in that game. Kansas State and Ohio State tied for 12th. And as we look at the bottom, we talked about UConn being at number 17 last week, the lowest they've been in 20 or 30 years. I can't remember what that was. And then rounding out the bottom, Louisville, Marquette, Creighton, Gonzaga, Florida State, UNLV, Miami, and North Carolina. Be sure to like, share, turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.